everybody and welcome to another episode of Touring the Londonverse. Today we're going to be looking at Gold Star Wrestling based out in Canada, probably the smallest promotion in the Londonverse data, not including CPWE, the development fed for the AWF. Not the most talented of rosters, has to be said. Some interesting characters though there, and let's get stuck in. As you can see, I've chosen James' avatar, the default settings right down the centre. Now let's have a look at the promotion's main hub. And as you can see here, size is small with a 32nd sized company, which is understandable out of 33. We have $1 million in the bag, Prestige E+, Momentum D-, and our first show is GSW Surrender or Die, which is taking place tonight. So let's get stuck in with having a look at the roster, as is accustomed in these videos. And we start with Amir Tajin. Now Amir Tajin is actually the colour commentator for the promotion. Don't think you need to know too much else about him beyond that, but his bio is there if you guys want to pause and have a read. Move on now to the Canadian big man Artis Martel. He's a heavyweight and a main eventer in this company. Old school face, got a relatively decent look about him, but in the ring, you know, he's not particularly great. 32 years of age though, in a company this size, he's probably as good as it's going to get. He's not the champion, although he is in a feud with the champion. I set that up off camera just before we started recording this video. So you'll see him most likely in the main event of this show, not to give anything away. Move on now to one half of the tag team champions, the Sultans of Swagger, and that's Bailey Michaud. Now Bailey Michaud is not too bad, 30 years of age. He's got some aerial ability to rely upon, but the mental attributes not particularly there. Everything else is not great, but I quite like the guy actually in this company. And again, you have to taper your expectations when you're looking at your roster when you're only a small company. And he's probably one of the ones that you're going to look to actually get some semi-decent matches out of the other competitors here. Move on now to the owner, or former owner, of the GSW, is a semi-active wrestler himself, and that's Blake Forrest. 20-plus year veteran of the Canadian wrestling scene and North American wrestling scene in general. Basics and psychology are quite good. In the ring, chain wrestling and mat wrestling, he's actually not that bad, and he is still classed as a main event, although, like I said, he is downgrading his schedule to only be part-time, which is understandable. And we move on now to Calvin T. Genius. Calvin T. Genius was one of the competitors entered into the Your Voice AWF managerial competition that I ran a couple of years ago. And this is the company where he finds himself currently employed. He's an evildoer, bit of an oddball, but he also manages a very, very, very weird tag team in this company, which is known as Experimental. I've noticed a typo in the bio. I'm going to sort it out after the recording's done, so don't worry about it. Move on now to Clayton Purdy, the legend as he likes to call himself. He's not particularly legendary in the ring. He's not bad though. He's a big heavyweight, upper mid-card heel, egomaniac. A bit like Brock Lesnar without talent, I think is what we're going to go for here. Has decent power, microphone charisma's not that bad actually, so you could probably get some good promos out of CLP, as he likes to be known. Possibly a future champion as well. Like I said, even though he's not great, for this level he's pretty decent. Moving on to Darcy Cloutier. Now, Darcy, or Darcy, however you want to say, I'm going to say Darcy Cloutier. I mean, I said that like I didn't name him myself. That was my decision. I made that decision. And I'm happy I made that decision. I'm sticking with it. He's great. He's fantastic. He's everything I wanted him to be, except for that hair. It's a little bit awry, but we can let that go. Let the odd things slide now and then. He's 36 years of age. He is old as balls. He's not really. I mean, we just saw a 42-year-old, so... in-ring wise, he's okay. He's not standing out in any one area. His submission and aerial is okay, but he gets by as being an entertainer, and in that regard, he's actually not too bad. Don't see him ever getting above the mid-card level, but not bad, not bad. And we move on now to one half of the tag team Experimental, and that is Freak Show. Now, Freak Show is a lightweight emo psycho clown character, I guess we'd go for, managed by Calvin T. Genius. And again, for his level, not too bad in the ring. Probably, well, in fact, he's definitely a valuable addition to the tag team competition, but as a singles competitor, he could probably actually make a few waves on this level as well. And that's the thing, I mean, off camera, again, I simmed up to the day of the show. The only person on the roster that another company has come in for was Michael Damage, and that is the former booker of GSW. Obviously, he's not needed for that, and he's also managing his two sons, Quinton Damage and Owen Damage. He's good in that department. So none of the wrestlers have actually had offers come in from other companies. So you could be able to build, like a long-term game around some of these characters, which is, is good. Move on to Cash Money. Cash Money is part of a tag team known as Those Two Guys. Actually in the feud currently for the tag team titles with his partner Zane Rouse, who we'll see later. He's, like I said, cruiserweight, lightweight in size. Aerial and flashiness isn't bad actually. He's 26 years of age, so there's potential for growth. But then again, if he grows too much, he's going to be pinched by another company. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. But for now, we'll be pleased to have him. Move on now to LaMarcus Austin. Tough guy, badass gimmick. In ring, I'm not particularly fussed. I mean, brawling's okay. Can probably get by on that. Beyond that, not too keen on this character, if truth be told. Another very trippy character, ironically titled their trippy character, as we see LSD. LSD is the other half of the experimental tag team. He's an opener, evildoer as well, and there's talent there. You can see Aerial, C+, and Flashiness C, and he's 27, so there's time to improve that. So both he and Freak Show probably have a future, if not necessarily as a tag team, but as singles workers in their own right. Moving now to one of my favourite characters in this promotion, Memphis Wicks. He's a bit of an all-rounder for this level, 28 years of age, and he's already a main eventer. Got the cool gimmick, and I think it's justified. I like this guy, and he'd be someone that I'd look to have the title for probably quite a long period of time, truth be told. And Michael Damage, he signed a written contract to the NWA, so he's not going to be long for here. He's a manager and a personality, so it's not something I'm too worried about losing, to be honest. I mean, it would have been nice for promos, and obviously it would have helped the tag team of his boys, but it's not the worst. It's probably the person I'd be happiest to lose on the roster, if truth be told. Move on now to Owen Damage, and this is one of the aforementioned Michael Damage's sons. He's actually, again, shown signs of promise. He's still quite young. Well, he is very young, actually, 24 years of age. Mat wrestling and submissions are good. Basics are already quite good. So, again, even though he's in the tag team division at the moment, there's a lot of potential singles stars here, which is good for the promotion long term, I think. Move on now to Paddy O'Hara. Now, some of you may have already seen this gentleman if you've seen any of the TEW Girlfriend Challenge videos I've done. I think there's been 2 so far in the series. More will be coming, don't worry. This is the man that we hired to be the road agent to replace the outgoing Colt Magnum when we were playing as Ring of Fire, or Emma was playing Ring of Fire. This is where he originally works, and he's a fantastic road agent. He really is. Move on now to Quinton Damage, the youngest of the Damage family, or the Brood. He's a lower mid-carder though, and his aerial is already at a B-, so if anything, he's going to be the real standout talent from this family. And this is someone that I'd be very careful about not pushing too fast too soon, mainly because of, well, one, ego, and I wouldn't want him to get pinched by the competition, because he wouldn't be the easiest person to replace. Move on now to the GSW champion, and that's Rashard Strong. A bit of a Wesley Snipes vibe about him, actually, just noticing that. I hadn't noticed it before. And he's, again, okay for this level. Got a bit of, edge to him. I think that's helped elevate him to the main event level. But I don't think he's the best in the company. So I don't mind him being a champion and competing at that level, but not someone that I would rely too heavily upon, even though he's got the show stealer gimmick and the big eye, it plays the big I am. Move on now to referee Brett Shipman. Now, Brett Shipman is actually someone who's had facial reconstructive surgery, so that is why he looks like he does. Just thought I'd give a little bit of a backstory on a referee for a change, and I did. There you go. Drink that in, ladies and gentlemen, drink that in. Move on now to Sidney Leon. Now, suave Sidney Leon, quick-talking high flyer from Vancouver. He's an upper mid-carder, and again, someone who I could probably see main eventing. I mean, aerial, C+, flashiness C, basics are quite good. There's aspects of his abilities that you can work with, and certainly on the main event level for a company of this size. I think he's got a decent-ish look about him as well, so a very good add to the roster. Move on now to the other half of the Sultans of Swagger tag team, Sonny Miles. Entertainer, upper mid-card heel, City Slicker gimmick, in-ring wise, chain wrestling, mat wrestling is not bad, basics is okay, and that's what we'll rely upon. So possibly not a breakout singles talent, but I'm happy to have him in the tag team division, and I'm sure he'll do well with the titles. Move on now to Joseph Jackson, aka Stonewall. Super heavyweight, upper mid-card heel, monster gimmick. Quite an intimidating guy with menace of A star, very, very key. You could do a lot of angles based on him squashing people and looking quite intimidating. In the ring, he's a bag of shit, but that's fine. Brawling is just about passable. Everything else is toilet duck. So it's alright. I'm okay with it. I like having this guy as a monster. I quite like the render, if truth be told, as well. So I'm not going to get rid of him. Toby Bettleson is the announcer for the company. Pretty much it. Wesley Grove, a mid-card face, old school in his persona. Quite an interesting look, I think. He's quite unnerving to, if you make eye contact. If you just look at it in his eyes for a little bit, it's quite unnerving to see. But anyway, in-ring wise, he's not a bad talent. He's 28 years of age. You've got chain wrestling, mat wrestling, submission, all very good. Very good indeed. Consistency in selling, also very good. A potential project, if you will, for later on in the in GSW, booking a long-term game. This is someone that I'd have go all the way to the main event scene. If you can hear a dog barking, it's fine. I'm going to kill them after the recording's done. If you can't, ignore what I just said. It's a load of nonsense. I'll move on now to Zane Rouse, a mid-card fun babyface. He is the other half of those two guys' tag team, if I recall correctly. I hope so. Yes, he is. Good, because I set up that storyline already. That would have been quite upsetting for me if that was not the case. And that, well, actually, no, I'll go over a bit more of his character, to be honest. Aerial and flashiness, quite nice. And that is pretty much it, actually. But I do like the guy, and again, someone who I could see potentially being a breakout star in singles competition. 27 years of age, he's got time on his side. So, that brings us to an end of a pretty small roster, but like I said, there's some interesting characters in there. Not everyone's the most talented, but it'll work. It will suffice. So we'll close that down. Storylines are just set up too, so the titles, singles and tag team titles are up for grabs. I won't actually show you the title renders because there aren't any title renders for this company. There's only two. This is the only company that doesn't have title renders as of yet. I probably need to speak to MJ Stark about that sooner rather than later if he can afford me the time. Anyway, that's a side note. So yeah, I mean, 1 out of 33 companies without a title isn't too bad, all things considered, but I will try and get that sorted and rectified shortly. But we can have a look at the tag teams. So here we have Experimental of Freak Show and LSD, Sons of Destruction, Owen Damage and Quinton Damage, the Sultans of Swagger, Sonny Mars and Bailey Matured, and those two guys, Cash Money and Zane Rouse. So 4 tag teams, that's not bad. I don't think there are any stables, but I will check, and there aren't. Creative meeting, now this is just going to be a car crash. Franchise players, Blake Forrest, that makes sense, he kind of created the company. And he's still a main event level talent. Memphis Wicks, who is the company as far as I'm concerned. Artis Martel and Rashard Strong, the two people currently feuding for the title. That is okay. Next big things, none. All of this is going to be nonsense. Hot prospects, we actually have some. Brilliant. Zane Rouse, Cash Money, Quinton Damage, Wesley Grove and LSD. That's good, I like that. Talk the Talk, Clayton Purdy, Michael Damage, who is on his way out. Blake Forrest, Memphis Wicks and Sonny Miles. Showstoppers, Blake Forrest. I'm surprised we have anyone, to be honest. Ring Generals, Blake Forrest. Who's hot? No one. Who's not? Everyone. Quinton Damage, Freak Show, Wesley Grove, Cash Money and Sidney Leon. Time Decline, no one. Hidden Gems, basically anyone. So we've got Rich Stevens, Logan Prince, Ed Stein, Bradley Merton and CJ Hunter. So that brings us to an end of the overall company and product, but we're going to now book a show. I have shit all idea with what I'm going to actually book on this, but as I usually do, but I actually have almost zero idea. Great backstage rating, that might be one of the best ones we've seen. 74%, that is wonderful. 2 hours, how are we going to do 2 hours? I set the show size medium. 2 hours, you still need 2 hours? Well, we're going to let this go 90 minutes and hope that that will be all said and done. 2 hours. Okay, right. Let's not waste any time. We know what the main event's going to be. It's quite a mainstream promotion, this as well, so there needs to be a few angles, which is worrying. See, if I was this company, I know there's going to be like a minimum size or a suggested size of people to bring in, but if we've got to book longish shows, we're going to need more people than this. Anyway, Artis Martel, don't know why I did that, he's already there. And the Champione, ole. Rashard Strong. Sometimes I have like an out-of-body experience where I just listen to myself and I'm thinking, it's not quite right, is it? Okay, so, God almighty, how long does this need to go? Let's have a look. 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes. Well, it says 20 minutes. It's going to be 25, isn't it? Let's be honest. Both of these guys are going to be blowing out their arseholes by the time this one's done. GSW, that's fine, that's fine. For now, I'll let Rashard Strong hold on to it. Because, and there's a reason behind this, because I'd probably have Memphis Wicks take the title off Rashard Strong before too long. Open match. Slow build. Good God, can you script it? Everything's going to be scripted on this. Don't even worry about that. Not particularly fussed. Not particularly fussed about the finish. Not fussed about the finish either. 27 minutes. That's alright. That's a good way to start. So we need to do at least 63 more minutes. I think we can do that. So we'll put the tag team titles on the line. Sitting at a jaunty angle there. Probably try and straighten up. Look a bit more proper. And yes, you might be wondering to yourself, he hasn't made the same mistake as he did in one of his first videos by wearing a yellow shirt and having a yellow wall behind him. And the answer to that, yes I have. So, right, Sultans of Swagger. Those two guys are going to be there. And we are going to make this a, I have no idea how long of a contest. That will do. Yeah, we'll go with that. Put the titles on the line. And let's make it interesting. Let's have the computer decide who's going to win that one. Don't often do it for titles. We'll do it for this one. Okay, so singles matches. We're going to have Stonewall kill someone. I mean, we're already looking at that. That's the list we have now after using those two matches. Stonewall. I was actually going to have LaMarcus Austin. It's fortunate that he's a face because he's going to die in this. Can't have it go too long. 10 minutes might even be pushing it, but we need to eat up a bit of time, so Stonewall wins. I might even have him look dominant. I think I'm going to. No. Stonewall to dominate. Script, yes please. And save. Okay. Might ask to get Mr. Part-Time Blake Forrest in a match, and I think I'll have him lose to Memphis Wicks actually. That seems like it would make logical sense, as opposed to illogical sense. And we will let that go 13-ish. I'll keep it relatively open though, I don't want to embarrass the former boss. It will be scripted. Okay. Blake Forrest is very unhappy at the booking of this match. I'm not going to change it. What a prick. Anyway. Singles matches. Clayton Purdy. Right, I think I'm going to get all these guys on the show in matches. Why not? So, Sidney Leon to go over Darcy Cloutier in a, just say, 12-minute match. Sidney Leon with the win. We will have, it will be open though, I don't want to go too far down that road. Scripting. Okay, need way more match angles. Well, some, because I don't have any at the moment, but I will. Add match. This isn't probably a company I'd book myself long term, but the option's here for anyone who does. And Clayton Purdy. And then we've got a tag team match, that'll work. We'll have this go about 8 or 9, because I've just done that. Clayton Purdy's going to win. Loser's going to be Wesley Grove. Click it. Be an open match. Scripted. Save. And that will be a bit further back, I think. About there. And we're also going to put on a tag team outing with what's left. I hope they're heel and face, because that's what we're going to go with. Oh, they're both heel. I don't care. At this point, I do not care. Wait, does that mean the champions are face? They can't be. They're definitely not. I don't care. Again, I don't care. We're going to go with this. It'll work. It won't work at all. What am I doing? Why do I allow myself to do these things? And actually, as a result of my stupidity, I'm going to let the computer decide that as well. That'll teach me something. And you better believe that that is going to be the first match. Okay, so how much are we running so far? We've got 106 minutes. Yeah, I need to do angles anyway. Let's have a beat down. Beat down in the ring. Stonewall Jackson. The Stonewall. He's going to kill. Who do I want him to kill? Let's think. I'm having... I did have an idea. And there it is. Sydney Leon. Yes, Sydney wins a match. Stonewall goes, I don't think so, son. Takes him out. He wasn't quite satisfied with destroying LaMarcus Austin. He just comes out after that match and just kicks the piss out of Sydney Leon. I like that. Think angle wise, I'll let Michael Damage say a goodbye. Singles generic, because he's going to be on a written contract, so he's not going to be able to appear for us. Definitely not Amir Tajin. That was accidental. Michael Damage, auto name. Don't know why I said that. 5-minute goodbye promo. 6 minutes. Okay. I'll have that just there. Add angle. We'll do a tag team promo. Actually, no. We'll do a singles promo, and we'll have Calvin T. Genius just talk about the piss poor attempts of a match I've started the show with. Again, to further punish me. Like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's booked 2 heel tag teams to open a show. No one gives a shit, but make sure you enjoy. Okay. Right, so another angle. And it will be, I'm thinking... we'll go with what I was going to do previously. No. Yeah, it was going to be promos tag. And we'll have, I think both Sultans of Swagger men do decent-ish promos. Not convinced at all, having said that. They're going up against Cash Money and Zane Rouse. Okay. Let that go 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Keep saying 5 and then going for 6, so let's go with it. We'll just flip this somewhere in here. And that'll be enough, actually. That'll get us to, I mean, this show is going to tank, but I'm quite interested to see how it's going to go now. I realised partway through my booking that it was going to be poo, and I just ran with it. So we'll save that. Why? I don't know. And we'll run show. Yeah, why not? Let's run it. Calvin T. Genius cuts a backstage promo, but first of all, GSW Surrender or Die, being held by Gold Star Wrestling. It's being held in front of 300 people in front at George Keneal Gymnasium. Yeah, 300 people turned out for this. Well, they're going to want their money back. Okay, D-, not bad though. This is. In an extremely poor match, Experimental defeated Sons of Destruction 8 minutes 22 and LSD defeated Owen Damage by submission. Yeah, that's what I said. Calvin T. Genius did some work at ringside. Michael Damage did some good work at ringside. Lifted the crowd. Holy shit. They suicidal up to that point. About they had a good crowd and some decent in-ring action. Clayton Purdy defeated Wesley Grove in 8 minutes 51 by submission with a Furnace Clutch. D-, not too bad. This is about they had a good crowd but featured terrible wrestling. I knew it. Stonewall defeated LaMarcus Austin in 10 minutes 13, by pinfall with a Fall of Berlin. Some portions of the crowd were very vocal in their hatred of Stonewall. That means I would push him more. Stonewall was visibly trying towards the end. It was a freaking 7-minute match. It was a 10-minute match. Okay, fair enough. E+, the Sultans of Swagger cut a promo hyping their upcoming match with those two guys. This is better. In about the had good crowd and some decent in-ring action, Sydney Leon defeated Darcy Cloutier in 11 minutes 47 by pinfall with a Ponce de Leon. Stonewall attacks Sydney Leon in the ring and leaves him down and out. Just what the crowd wanted to see. More Stonewall. We love it. Don't know what I'm doing. In a match that had an average crowd reaction but featured terrible wrestling, the Sultans of Swagger defeated those two guys in 40 minutes 58 when Sonny Miles defeated Zane Rouse by pinfall with the sunny side down. The Sultans of Swagger make defense number 7 of their GSW tag team titles. The match lifted the crowd, the tag title storyline advanced, D-, okay. There you go, Michael Damage cuts a backstage promo saying goodbye, we'll be in the ring but it's a promo. C+, that's going to be by far the best thing we hit on this show. Maybe I will miss him. In about that had a good crowd and some decent in-ring action, Memphis Wicks defeated Blake Forrest in 30 minutes 20 by pinfall with a protocol pain. That's alright, a D's not too bad, all things considered. And a main event... About that had a good crowd and some decent in-ring action, Rashard Strong defeated Artis Martel in 25 minutes and 12 seconds by pinfall with a strong arm lariat. Rashard Strong makes defense number 1 of his GSW title. Rashard Strong seemed off his game tonight. The bout dragged in the middle with a lack of flow being noticeable. This match, didn't I script that? The match lifted the crowd. The Strong vs Martel storyline had, I mean, we're going to be at the same level, let's be honest. Yeah, it increased our popularity incredibly. Doesn't feel they have enough interesting storylines going on. I only had 2 for the titles and that was done beforehand, but obviously long-term storyline, or long-term game, sorry I should say, I would set up the relevant storylines for this. But it's not a bad little promotion actually. Like I said, it's not one I could see myself doing a long-term game as, but I'm sure some of you out there would quite enjoy playing as this company. For the next video I haven't decided which one we're going to cover yet, but again, I hope you are enjoying this series. Let me know actually. I'm enjoying the feedback that I'm seeing in the comment section below. Are you still enjoying this series? And what series after I've covered the Londonverse data, and obviously the data's been released and what have you, what series would you like to cover next on TEW? Obviously I've got the WWE 2K16 Universe series on the go. Check it out if you haven't already. It's quite fun. The matches are pretty good and my commentary... I'll let you decide anyway. Obviously, we're going to still carry on with the... I've started up a WMMA series so far. I've only done 1 episode so far, but that was something that we'll be seeing other episodes of shortly. Got the Football Manager series, and obviously the TEW Girlfriend Challenge series. So they're all still going to be going. After this series, let me know down below what it is you would like to see me cover next as far as TEW goes. So yes, that brings us to an end of this episode. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, guys, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. You've been fantastic with that. Still, competition is open. 200 subscribers before TEW comes out and I will get a copy for one of my subscribers. 500 and I'll get 2. We're not going to hit them. We're not going to hit 500. I'll say that now. That's not happening. But I'm still going to keep it open there as an incentive for you guys. It's fun. A little bit of fun. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. More importantly, thank you guys for watching. And until next time, I'll see you around.